Lancers. I am Mrs. Geason, and I'm one of the counselors here at your wonderful school, Lakeside.
And I am Aaron Nessman in counseling as well. Today, we're going to be working through your 4-year plan. And this is super important because we really want to help you plan out not just this year, but the next 3 years of your life so we can help you get to whatever goals that may be beyond high school.
You have been given a paper. So on the side of the paper that you see where it says name, ID number, and date, I want you to go ahead and fill that in for us right now. Put your name, your ID number, today's date. And if you do know your counselor's name, please circle the counselor's last name on that form.
So if you're unsure on who your counselor is, go ahead and take a look here. You can see that alphabetically, if you're not in a unique program, you're just going to select your counselor based on alphabet. But otherwise, if you're an Avid 9 student, you will be mine, Mr. Nessman. If you're in ELD, which is an English language learner, then you would be with Ms. Jimenez. If you have an IEP, which is an individual education plan, you would be with Mrs. Rare. And if you're in our academy or our Success Academy, you would be with Mrs. Smalley. Otherwise, you're just going to go strictly by alphabet, which would be A to F is Ms. Jimenez, G to M is myself, Mr. Nessman, N to S is Mrs. Smalley, and T to Z would be Mrs. Rare.
Okay, Lancers, so next I want you to put your career goal. Now that can be anything in the world that you may want to do, but please put something there on that line where you see the words career goal. So whether you want to be a firefighter, a police officer, a doctor, it doesn't matter. Just put something there for that career goal. And then I want you to put what your educational goal is. So go ahead and fill those 2 lines out right now.
And that can change, so don't think, I put down I have to be a firefighter, so I have to be one now. Put down what you really want to do as of this moment. It can change next week, it can change next year. As long as we're going towards something, that's the most important piece to this activity that we're doing right now.
We want to know what you want to do right now, your freshman year. We want to know.
It also helps us for planning because that career goal that you have ultimately is going to drive how far you need to go in education. So if I want to be a lawyer, I know I'm going to need to go on through a bachelor's, through an additional law degree and things like that. If I want to be a doctor, a nurse, depending on what I want to do, if I want to be a firefighter, if I want to be a police officer, those are all going to drive that educational goal. But it's also going to help us as far as planning from the counselor side, from your teacher side. We can all help advise you because we know a little bit more about those pathways and we can help get you to that goal. Okay, so now that we have the top of that filled out with your name, your ID, your counselor, we have the middle section filled out with that career and the educational goal. Now we're going to start talking about the meat of this, which is your 9th through 12th grade class plan. As well as down below, you can see that it has your graduation requirements and also those UC, Cal State A through G requirements. So you can kind of, again, compare those to the classes that you're selecting across the top. If you flip that page over and look at the back, you're going to see all the classes that we offer here at Lakeside. That's going to be a piece that now we're going to talk you through as far as putting that into your plan to make sure that you select the right classes that are going to match what you want to do beyond high school.
Okay, so now we want every freshman to be A through G eligible when you complete or when you finish high school. So it starts now, your freshman year. We need you to put down all of the classes that you're taking now, plus everything that you plan to take. But remember, you have to pass all of your classes with a C or better because we want you to have options when you're done with high school. So let's start with number 1. If you're taking dance or PE, I want you to put that in the number 1 slot. If you're taking world history, I want you to put that in the number 1 slot. In the number 2 slot, I want you to write down English, whatever English that may be, English 9, English 9 Advanced. On the number 3 line, go ahead and write down the math class that you're taking. So whether it's Algebra 1A, Algebra 1, or Geometry. On line number 4, go ahead and write down your science. That would either be biology or biology advanced. On line 5, write down if you're taking a foreign language, whether it's Spanish or French. And on the last line, line number 6, go ahead and write down any elective class you're taking, whether it's ceramics, whether it's photography, ASB, yearbook, whatever elective class that you're in right now. Go ahead and write that down. So just to recap this first section, we want to make sure you have all of your freshman classes listed. So number 2, 3, and 4 should have your core classes. That means your English, your math, and your science. Now, if you're an AVID or if you're in band or any of the other elective classes, make sure it's on that section. It's in that section. Mainly that 6th period is for electives. So make sure all of your classes are listed in this first part.
Okay, so now as we start into our sophomore, junior, senior year, I need one important thing you need to really consider here is we want you to challenge yourself. We want you to show that you're, again, pushing yourself, you're trying to go outside of your comfort zone, you're trying to work hard, but staying within your means of getting those seasoned better. So that's as we start talking about some advanced classes, as we start talking about the potential of AP classes that'll kick into your 10th grade year. We want to make sure that you're looking to challenge yourself, but do it appropriately. Make sure that if you're going to challenge yourself, you're going to meet that goal and you're going to be successful with it as well. So, going back to line 1, we're going to look at line 1 in 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And on that line 1, I'd like you to flip over and look at your social science options. You're going to see world history or AP world history for 10th grade year. Go ahead and select which one matches your personality a little bit more. Are you willing to put in that little bit of extra work? Are you willing to do a little bit more independent study kind of things and doing some of that reading at home? If so, let's shoot for that AP world. If not, you're going to go ahead and put world history into that line for 10th grade. Same going right along to 11th grade, you're going to then look at US history versus AP US history and kind of the same critique that I just gave you, which is, you know, if you're willing to do that little bit extra, do that outside work outside of school and you really want to push yourself, look towards AP US history, otherwise you're pushing towards regular US history. And then in senior year, you're going to put down government and economics, which are both semester classes. Or if you're interested in doing an AP government or an AP macroeconomics, again, go ahead and put that into that line 1 in senior year.
All right, now for line 2, we're going to talk about English. So sophomore, junior, and senior year English. Right on the back side, you'll see a suggested pathway. So again, if you want to take English 10 Advanced as opposed to regular English 10, perfectly fine. They are both college-approved classes. Remember, all of your classes, and we cannot stress it enough, is you must make a C or better in all of your classes. But go ahead on to junior year, you can either take AP Lang or regular English 11, and then senior year you have 3 options. You have dual enrollment English, which is college level English, you have AP English Lit, or you have expository reading and writing, which is our English 12 class. So go ahead and fill that in.
Okay, so on to line 3. Line 3 really becomes unique to you because everybody ends up on a little bit different pathway in math. And so, again, looking at that backside, we really kind of gave you some suggested pathways through math. You really want to look at that and see where you fit in. If you're in Algebra A, you're going to be going to Algebra B next year, and then the goal is to go on to Geometry and Algebra 2 for your senior year. If you're, on the other hand, in Algebra 1 right now, you're looking at Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2 during your junior year, and then the goal is to do a 4th year of math your senior year, whether that's pre-calculus or trigonometry. If you are in geometry right now, again, you can see that pathway that gives you Algebra 2 next year as a 10th grader, and then you go to pre-calc or trigonometry as a junior, and you have that availability of an AP calculus your senior year. So sit down, think about that for a moment, and again, kind of plot your plan out based on the suggested pathways on the back.
Okay, now for your science portion, go ahead and we're going to fill in for sophomore year. You're going to have your option of chemistry or chemistry honors. And for your junior year, you're going to have a little bit more selection for your third year of science. That's required for graduation purposes. So you're going to have more options there, and it is on that paper that you have in front of you. So go ahead and fill those in. And senior year, you have your fourth year of science. That is optional, but strongly encouraged. So go ahead and follow that pathway that's on that paper and write in your science.
All right, and now we're on to line 5. In line 5, if you freshman year, you put in that foreign language. So if you were taking Spanish or French this year, you're going to continue that along to sophomore year. And ultimately, our goal is that you take that third year or potentially more. But as of right now, we're at least looking towards that second year, hopefully in 10th grade, and then consider what you want to do for junior year. Now, if you're a freshman that's not taking a foreign language right now, we want to strongly encourage that you pick that up in 10th grade. And so this is that line where maybe you can jump into a Spanish 1 with the goal of getting to Spanish 2 your junior year and so on. So on that line 5, you're going to plot that out. Now, if you are a native speaker in Spanish, there's definitely some different pathways for you. Maybe freshman year you are taking a level 2 or a level 3. That will qualify you for that second year or that third year of foreign language for the sake of being A through G. And so there are different pathways that, again, we can consider that are unique to you, but take a look at that line 5 and try to plot out to make sure that we're hitting that A through G component for foreign language, and then also making sure that, again, we're kind of meeting our needs as far as the classes that we want to take.
But remember, if you have any questions, see your counselor. All right, we're down to the bottom, line 6, and I'm going to include line 7. So those 2 lines are for you to take all the other required classes for graduation and for A through G college purposes. So I want you to look on the course list. So also look at the little stars, the little asterisks. Remember that those mean all these classes are college approved classes. So now if you are college bound, 4-year college bound, don't forget you need 1 full year of a visual and performing art. That means ceramics, photography, dance is a great one because that counts for your second year or first year PE, and it also counts as a visual and performing art. But we have so many approved visual and performing art, AP Art History, Character Design, AP Studio Art, Band. So a lot of options for you to be A through G, a college approved for your visual performing art. Also going down, if you're an AVID, that's where you're going to put the AVID in for sophomore, junior, senior year. All the other electives that we offer, if you want to take your third year of a foreign language, that counts. You need another year of a PE, so don't forget you need to put that in there, whether it's weights, you're in athletics, team field sports, body sculpting. Go ahead and fill in line 6 and 7. 7th period, let me remind you, 7th period means you are willing to take a 0 period class. So that's what 7th period means when you put it on your course request, okay? So go ahead and fill those lines 6 and 7 in.
All right, so now that we've done that whole midsection of our 4-year plan, and we've really kind of laid out what high school looks like to us, let's look down at the bottom now, and you see your graduation requirements and you see your A through G requirements. What I really want you to do is take a moment to kind of look through each one of those graduation requirements first. Now it's set up as 8 little boxes for English. That means 2 semesters per year. So this year in English 9, you're going to be doing first semester and second semester, so that would be 2 X's. Go ahead and check that across. If you put down English 9, English 10, a junior English and a senior English, you can go ahead and check all 8 boxes. Then look at math, look at science. Go ahead and check all those off compared to what you just wrote up above to ensure that you actually have a plan that's going to set you up for graduation. The big one is, as we get down there to electives, a lot of students look at it and go, 55, where do I get all those? Just start checking away. So as you hit your 1 year, so your 2 boxes of, again, foreign language, and then you'll go down into electives and you start checking your second year of foreign language credits down there, everything additional credits down there, and you'll see that those 55 credits really start chipping away really quickly. If you do an additional year of science outside of the 3 years, it goes down there to electives. An additional year of math goes down there, and so you'll see that 55 really does clear pretty quickly. In addition, some of you right now, freshman year, are taking health. Some of you have it planned for second semester, and others of you don't have it in your freshman year plan. Be aware that you do need to take that health in order to graduate. It is a piece that needs to be on our radar. Now, us as counselors, we'll keep track of that along with you, but at some point we'll need to take that class. There are virtual options, so you can take a 6-period school day and then do it as a virtual option outside the school day. So there are options to do it, but make sure it's somewhere there in your plan because it needs to get done in order to graduate. There's also 40 hours of community service that you'll have to complete in order to walk across that stage at the end of your senior year.
So let's make sure that you have all of your A through G courses right on this paper so we as your counselor can verify and have that discussion with you to make sure your high school time is very successful.
All right, so this has been an awesome activity. I'm hoping that it was useful for you to see really what your time at Lakeside is going to look like. And this is helping us to really think towards the future so that we can best meet whatever needs you have while you're here at Lakeside, but also so we can plan towards whatever dreams you have beyond high school. So thank you for working through this sheet with us. And hopefully this is going to be a really productive thing for us to look at, for you to look at, for your teachers to look at, and really to plan out how best we go through Lakeside.
So make sure you discuss this form with your advisory teacher, because your advisory teacher is going to be that teacher that'll follow you all the way through your senior year. So go ahead and have that discussion with them at this time if you can, or in the following weeks, and we will see you later on because we are always available. Your counselors are always available if you have any further questions.
All right, great job, Lansers. Have a great day.